Um, so I think I said a lot about these articles in our first paper because I really enjoyed um, his writing, Monturi. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly. Anyway, and I had a couple of moments I thought were really interesting that stood out to me. One of which he talks about, like education focuses on like the knowing of a concept as if like a concept is already solved and there's only one answer. And it kind of like made me think about why I had felt like I did really well in English in school, like in high school and even in my undergrad, is I think there was more room to, and I think the argument here is that there is, in general, more room to, I guess, question the answer. But growing up, it always felt like English truly did that. Like in all of my classes, writing an essay about what I thought of a book or what I thought the themes were for a story or whatever was always relatively easy to me. I mean, I think everything takes some level of scrutiny and understanding, but I just like really delved into those kind of projects, like finals that were all just writing. I loved to do it, and I usually did really well because I was allowed to just go wherever I wanted. And then, I would take math or science, and, the answer is this. It is this. And I struggled with that. And so I think that's always why I kind of gravitated towards English. And then he talks about like learning from your mentors and how we tend to think that that's like, I don't think he calls it like stealing or anything like that, but the idea, that a really creative person doesn't stem from somebody that came before them, but he uses, I think, Charlie Parker as an example. But it made me think of like when I studied art, the artist Marcel Duchamp, who made all these seemingly like unartistic, for his time, things that were weird. They were not considered good art. At the urinal, I think is the famous piece, and it's literally an upside down urinal. But his reasoning for the backstory is that if you don't know who he is he was a very educated artist. I mean, he went to school to study art, but what he realized is that these like museums and these art fairs were not allowing people without art degrees or experience in art, weren't allowing them to participate, and he thought that was dumb. I mean, for lack of a better word. And he used his name because it was well known. Marcel Duchamp was a well known name, and entered things like the urinal or like Mona Lisa with a mustache, and did it on purpose to like shake it up. And I think that that's really creative. I mean, he knew what he was doing, but he chose to do something different with it. And then really like the last thing, because I thought that this was really poetic almost. He talks in the last sentence of the creative breakthroughs in therapy, that one. They talk about people saying they're not good at improvisation, which I can relate to. I think I've said that before too, especially because I did theater in high school. But he says, like we're all doing improvisation, like every time we talk, have a conversation with someone. But he says once people become aware of that, it really changes their outlook and the way that they experience the concept of like improvisation. And he says something, there's a line in it that says, you become aware of pockets of freedom. And I really like that line. I think it was a really pretty, that's a really pretty sentence that I think we could all probably put more focus on.